Politics as usual is what is failing this country. Both Republicans and Democrats care more about preserving their agenda than promoting actual American ideals. The trend of ruling by executive order has only increased with each new administration. And there doesn't seem to be anyone that has any desire to change this. I look at our leadership in this country, and it seems that optics has become the primary means for decision making in Washington, D.C. And all this has done is create a greater gap between the two major political parties that constantly fight for control of this country. And neither of these ever consider what their constituents want, but rather what they think about is their own party's branding. I mean, this is why I created the First Branch, to inspire the will of the American people to bridge the gap of this divisive party politics. It's why this channel doesn't look like any other political commentary channel out there, because we're not doing the same thing that other channels are doing. We are actively creating legislation that benefits all Americans, not just Republicans or Democrats. And since the beginning of this channel, there's been no shortage of people sharing their recommendations on how I can increase my subscription base as well as my episode viewership. And all the suggestions, they're valid and would no doubt work to increase those numbers. However, what would suffer is the desired result of this channel. And what I mean by that is that this channel was not created to get subscriptions and likes. It was created to get people to engage their representatives. And that's a different focus entirely. This focus requires deep-seated roots in the American political process, a mature understanding of how to reverse the trends of big government behavior, a behavior that both parties are inclined to use. So looking like, acting like, or even sounding like everyone else would only result in the same outcome as everyone else, increasing the divide between the American people along those party lines. This is why our episodes don't look like anyone else's. This is why our video thumbnails are different. It's why the titles to our videos don't even look the same. Because at our core, we here at the First Branch, we are different. It doesn't take a fancy studio. It certainly isn't going to take a suit and tie to fix the issues we're having in this country. It just takes someone willing to put in the work, to frame the problem correctly, apply the truth, and then reason a solution that actually works. And while I do appreciate the suggestions y'all have given to improve this channel's aesthetics, there are some things that I'm simply not going to change. Now, this isn't me just being a bit stubborn. I have some very personal reasons as to why I'm not going to change them. But to show you that I'm not all that stubborn, here are some recommendations that you've already given that I have changed. The first suggestion I got was to get a better camera. The first camera that I had, it just wasn't providing the greatest video quality. Then I learned how to make my own intro and exit clips for each show. And then I had a suggestion to improve my lighting, so I did work on it. So I can take suggestions without getting too offended. So I asked the audience not to get too offended if I don't take every suggestion that's offered my way. But I do appreciate the suggestions, so please keep putting those suggestions in the comment box, because I do read them and I do apply them where I can. And two of the things I'm just never going to change: it doesn't matter if this channel grows into a multi-million person viewership. I am never going to change my beautiful backdrop and this lovely desk right here. While I know I don't have the best backdrop on YouTube, it's the best backdrop I could ever ask for. And the reason I'm never going to get rid of this backdrop, it's because my youngest son, Ethan, and I built it together. Now I will admit, I was the one who designed it, and it certainly didn't turn out like I thought it would in my head. But Ethan and I worked on it together, and there's no way I'm ever going to get rid of it. As for this desk, well, I just love it. So I'm going to keep it. I love the color of it. I love everything about it. But again, I do want to thank everyone who has provided recommendations to help improve this channel. And to show how this channel has already begun to reverse the trends, this past month, we have published 2 draft bills: the Affordable Health Care Premium Act, as well as the Right to Life Bill. And the response has been awesome to these 2 proposed pieces of legislation. And I'll admit, not everyone agreed with these proposals, not even close. But even those that disagreed offered their recommendations on how to improve the process. And that's the goal of this channel. You see, we've been on the air only for a month and have done more to reverse the trends of big government and support unity than party politics has been able to accomplish in years. This is evident by the eclectic group of respondents to our videos. This group includes 2 Catholics, 2 atheists or evolutionists, a deist, 2 Jewish men, an engineer, a doctor, and a professor. This diverse group is almost equal representation from both political parties. The majority does come from the left side of the aisle, though, but the fact remains this channel has already begun to build the bridge to span the gap that's been caused by party politics. So I see no reason to change the format of this channel. Yes, it's going to take longer to get the viewership that we want, but as we grow, the roots of this restorative movement will anchor deeper and deeper into the truth. So our base may take longer, but in the end it'll be stronger. So you're not going to see me wear a suit or tie. I'm not going to spend time bashing one side of the aisle over the other. And I'm certainly not going to spend any of my time commenting on the failures of America, because that's not our focus here. My desire and my focus is going to be to solve problems and overcome obstacles. And the biggest obstacle I have to overcome is not the YouTube-ness of my presentation. It's that Americans have become conditioned to simply complain about the opposing view. It's easier to point the finger at someone else's failures. What's hard is to look inwardly and ask yourself, what do I need to do to be part of the solution? And why that's hard is because that takes work. But that's the work that I'm not afraid to do. And so how we're going to solve those problems is to highlight the issues, frame those problems in context, and apply the truth to reach the proper resolution that best serves all of the American people. Then publish those proposed legislations that we can all then take to our representatives and remind them that we here in this country, we do govern by consent. So if you want to see things change here in America and believe the only way to make that happen is to get involved, then subscribe to this channel by clicking that red subscribe tab and tap that bell icon to be alerted when we post new content and proposed legislation. I want to thank you again for setting aside your valuable time to watch this video. Have a great week, America, and God bless.